What's up guys, Hunter Friends here, back at it again with another video. And in this video guys, we're going to be doing a tier list video post the North American World Championship qualifiers. And you guys already know it was insane. We had a lot of decks actually get that top 64 spot. So we're going to go ahead and get right into it, but we do have meta definer, next best thing, testing meta, experience pilot, and of course, not today son, get out of here. But guys, before we get started with this one, if you're not subscribed to the channel, what are you doing? Go ahead and hit the subscribe button and turn notification bell on so you're updated the next time I upload new videos. All right, here we go. Finally, we're gonna start off with Burning Abyss, and off the bat, even though it did get that support, we're gonna have to go ahead and put it in Not Today Sun, right? I think the best that Burning Abyss really did was back in the day where it was PK Fire, but unfortunately nowadays has to just go in Not Today Sun. Next up, we do have Fire Kings, and we're gonna put that at testing meta. So currently, you know, the only problem is that we've just been permanently in a Droll and Lockbird format. Usually Droll comes, saves the format, and then leaves, and then comes back again. But, you know, this deck has a huge issue with Droll, and we don't have supporting cards like, you know, Called by the Grave, Crossout Designator at 3, so it's harder for this deck to actually compete. Plus, a lot of the decks above it can really just go through Droll. So, unfortunately, we have to put it here, but the deck is not initially bad, it's just that it has that major issue with that hand trap. Now, guys, if we miss out on any decks or you feel like decks should be higher or lower, let me know down below in the comment section. Let's go ahead and get into the next one. We have Labyrinth, and Labyrinth, you know, is a deck that has so much insane trap support, and I really thought it'd be at a meta definer spot at this point. Unfortunately, though, I'm gonna have to put it at testing meta. Now, I want to say in the future that, you know, it will get better support, or it will find a way to kind of just crack through everything. But for now, I want to say it would definitely be above Fire Kings. But Labyrinth right now is just at this stage where it's still a great deck. It's just not the best deck. It is still the best trap deck though. Moving on, we have Mitsurugi, and Mitsurugi off the bat is a meta definer. It is the best engine we have access to. It can really just boost the performance of any other deck that it wants to add into itself. And, you know, at the end of the day, right, it does so much. It can blow up the field. It can really force your opponent to use their negates as well, right, to kind of stop it. So at the same time, it's just insane. It's actually insane. So, and it played a huge part in this tournament, and honestly the meta in general. But definitely would be one of the best decks of any decks that are actually mixed with it. And I want to give a huge shout out to Delroy Brandt, one of my friends. He actually got top 64 with Raizio Mitsurugi not too recently in this tournament. So shout out to him. And guys, go ahead and check out his YouTube down below for his Team Spice, and definitely go ahead and give them a follow. But seriously though, huge meta definer deck. Next up, we have Blue Eyes, and Blue Eyes is the next best thing. You know, initially people would say, wow, like Blue Eyes is just it's whatever, right? But at the same time, you have to understand it's a very strong strategy. Not only is it strong, it's consistent, plus it's also hittable, right? It's pretty much the most balanced deck we've actually seen, one of the most balanced decks we've seen currently, and it's going to keep doing its thing. See, now we understand why Blue Eyes White Dragon, the ulti from the new OTS pack, is that much money, because it actually looks really cool, but also it's a great deck. Now, next up, guys, we do have Yubel, and unfortunately, I love the deck, right, but we have to put it at Experience Pilot. Now, if we had Phantom of Yubel at 3, that would be a whole different story. It might be testing meta or finding a better way, even next best thing. But currently, because it's at 1, we're gonna have to leave it here because that card is insane. And when it comes back, or if it does, it's gonna change up things. Next up, we have White Forest, of course. So for White Forest, I would actually put it at Experience Pilot at the current moment. I think that it just needs that extra push to kind of get it out the door. Right now, it's just not doing as much, but it did top though. It definitely did top, just not a huge representation. Moving on, we have Goblin Bikers, and Goblin Bikers was almost non-existent. I feel like you don't really see it in the top cut as much anymore, but at the same time, it's a great XYZ strategy, and I think we have to just leave it at Experience Pilot for now. In the future, I think things can definitely change. Next up, we have Orcus, and you guys already know, won the event, right? It's just an amazing deck post Monsters Mayhem, and it just does so much. And the fact that a deck from way back in the day, right, just made it as the top deck for this tournament is amazing to see. Overall, I'm glad that one of the contenders, the best decks from Monsters Mayhem, made it out and actually won the entire thing. Moving on, guys, we do have Gem Knights, and Gem Knights 2, I would consider one of the better decks of this format and of the tournament as well. Again, I think that throughout the format we're going to have, this is going to be one of the top decks you'll see. And again, post support from Monster Mayhem really is putting this deck over the top. Next up, we do have Vanquished Soul, and Vanquished Soul to me is one of the next best things. To be honest with you, I think it's above Blue Eyes. And the fact that, you know, Holly Sue is just insane with what it does. You can go ahead and take your opponent's monster and really just interrupt their whole combo. Vanquished Soul itself is a little hard to play, but once you kind of get the hang of it, of any deck, then you can really dominate the meta. And trust me, it is going to be one of the best decks you're going to see for the next format, for sure. Next up, we have RB, and I really want to say Experienced Pilot, but for now, I think actually we'll leave it as an Experienced Pilot, only because, you know, this is really cool. You can kind of see this, people playing this with Cyber Dragon and other decks, and, you know, it's a nice engine. It's really cool. It's just not there yet, but I think that give it a few more main core sets, we're going to see this deck go over the top, this engine. Next up, guys, on the list, I have Sky Striker for you, and for me, I think it's the next best thing. Now, it's not as, you know, next best in terms of Vanquished Soul, but I will say after all the support it has gotten recently, I want to say it has to be one of the better things on this list, and at least more consistent too. It's been way more consistent since it came out in TOS format, and I will say that I think it has a lot of hope riding on its back. So we'll see what happens with the next format. Next up, we do have Crystallon, and Crystallon is definitely one of the next best things as well. It is very consistent, it does what it needs to do, and it really is a meta definer deck. It's on the borderline of that. Moving on, we do have Luna Light. Same thing with Luna Light. After the new support, it has been really, really good, and it's just using a lot of great tech cards inside the deck to really dominate the top decks in the game. Next up, we do have Malice, and you guys already know Malice is a top contending deck. It is still there. It is still really dominating the meta. It's one of the best decks we currently have right now, even after all the hits. Moving on, we do have Utopia, and I want to say that Utopia is cool, right? I'm not going to say don't play it, but it's definitely Experienced Pilot. I think if you don't know the ins and outs of this strategy, it is going to do terrible. And you know, it hurts heavily with hand traps too, so you really need to know how to play this deck at the end of the day. Next up, we do have the Primite with Bestials and Fiendsmith, and you know, I think we are having less decks where you're combining like 3 to 4 different engines, and this is one of those decks where you are doing that. So, you know, with that, you're always having issues in terms of, you know, sometimes consistency, but at the same time, when you put so much into a deck, it's a little harder to finally get to like that end board, and especially if you're getting interrupted here. So overall, I want to say that I think if the Primates get more consistent support, it'll be a better deck, but for now, I'm going to leave it at testing meta. Let me know, of course, what you guys think down below. And then moving on, we have Snake Eyes. Yeah, I'm sorry, Snake Eyes is not doing good so far. Could you imagine when we'll say Mouse is not doing good at some point? But yeah, Snake Eyes, it had its run. It was dominating, you guys know, just killing it out there, but unfortunately, no, it's down there. It's better than Burning Abyss, don't get me wrong, but yeah, no, don't attack me, don't attack me. Evil Twin, I'm gonna say, we have to say testing meta. It did get a top, I believe, 64 spot, so that was cool to see. This tournament was unique because we saw so many decks get that top spot. It wasn't just dominated by the huge majority like we usually do, which is great to see. And then we have Punk, and for Punk, I don't want to say it's bad. I'm gonna say, you know, Experienced Pilot, only because it has gotten the new support, and I think it just needs something else, just 1 or 2 more things to kind of make it broken, or at least, you know, bring it up a tier. Why not, right? Then we do have Mermill, and Mermill, I want to say next best thing. It's a great strategy to have, but we might have to put testing meta for now. I think, you know, if you put Mermill against Malice, it's a pretty good deck, but against other things, it's not the best all the time. But again, it can summon the water statue, which is great to see. You know, that's reminiscent of Flu summoning their wind statue. But it's just kind of on that border where it is getting new support, but it just needs more to kind of get it over the top, if you guys know what I mean. And then, of course, we have Ryzeal, and Ryzeal is still one of the best decks as well. You know, there are better versions, right? There's the Mitsurugi Ryzeal, this Onomat Ryzeal. You could put it in next best thing here as well, but I would actually put it at the lower end of meta definer. It's still one of those XYZ strategies that are insanely strong right now. And then we have, of course, Memento. Memento for me would have to be testing meta. It's still pretty good, but it has that same thing where with Vanquish Soul, if you don't know how to play it, it's going to do bad. You have to know how to pilot this deck. And I don't want to put it at experienced pilot because testing meta is a step above. And it has received so much support. Plus, you have seen the results of how well it has been doing. And it has been topping too. So it still has that behind it. But guys, this is how I feel about the recent tournament we had last weekend. If you guys liked the video, make sure to give it a huge like. Comment down below your thoughts, of course, if we missed out on any decks. And if you guys, of course, liked the video, make sure to give this channel a huge like by subscribing to the channel. And, of course, turning on that notification bell when I upload new videos. But, guys, that's all I have for you for this one. Hopefully you enjoy the rest of your day or night. And I will see you in the next video. Peace.